Welcome back to the channel, my fellow pirates, and today I've got another cooking video since it's Saturday, and we're going to be putting two recipes head to head against each other. It is the patty melt versus the Chester. These burger recipes will be going head to head to see which one is superior. And so let's go ahead and take a look at what will come up top and what will fall onto the bottom as we head towards the kitchen and take a look at the ingredients we'll need for both recipes. Here is the list of ingredients that we will need for each recipe. Here, for the patty melt, we will need rye bread as the main bread, Swiss cheese, and thinly sliced onions. The Chester will need white bread, American cheese, beef broth, and diced onions. For the patty ingredients, we will need ground beef, salt, pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. Now, the differences between both recipes is not just the ingredients, it's the method of cooking them. With the patty melt, cook the patty in a pan or on a griddle with a mix of seasoning in the beef from the previous ingredients list into an oval to fit the two pieces of rye bread. Cook the patty until there is a good even crust on both sides. After, cut some onions into ribbons and put them into a pan with butter to caramelize the onions. Before assembling together, butter on one side of each slice, then put into a pan or griddle with olive oil or oil of your choice. Toast the buttered sides until golden, or at least till well done, as I did there, and put Swiss cheese on toasted side of each slice. Finally, put one of the slices back into the pan with the patty on top of the slice and put the caramelized onions on top of the patty. Put the last slice of rye on top and cook on both sides of the untoasted sides for about 1 minute, but not before smashing the top of the sandwich, and carefully make sure not to burn as I did. Now, the Chester has a similar process near the end, but the method of cooking the patty is different. What we will do first is put the beef broth in a pan until it starts to slowly boil. And during the process of the boiling of the broth, please make sure to dice some onions and put it into the broth to soften the onions and absorb the broth itself. Now, here is the fun part about this. What you'll need to do is really flatten out the patty here, about over the size of the white bread slice. We will use the same ground beef that we used for the patty melt and put the patty into the broth and the onions to cook on both sides. Now, essentially, from what I understand about this part, it borrows from a Wisconsin recipe known as a poached burger, because I will be boiling the burger in the beef broth on both sides of the patty, alongside absorbing the juices of the onion into the burger itself. When the patty is ready, we will be repeating the ending process of the patty melt, instead with white bread and American cheese. Hey, post-editing Doc here. So I ended up getting a little too distracted yesterday. I've had a couple events that I had to go to, and also in the process of recording this video to getting all the stuff that I need. Took a little bit longer than I thought, and on top of having a special guest cameraman, Josiah, help out, we didn't have a whole lot of time recording, so took up a little bit more time, and I still had to finish up the Midoriya video. Just wanted to give some explanations before we get to the next section, so I apologize about that. Had a lot going on, so let's go ahead and talk about the taste test now. Now, usually what I would do for the taste test is how do I like it first, but I figure I would switch it up and go ahead and take a look at others' opinions of it.
So, how'd you enjoy both Patty Melt and Chester?
They're good. They're good.
Which one do you prefer?
The Chester over the Patty Melt.
I agree. It's definitely. I was a little more surprised with it.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
It was surprising. It was surprising. It was
especially after boiling it.
yeah. It was a lot flavorful. It had
Okay, so how do you enjoy both recipes?
I really liked them both. I thought they were a little different, but they both tasted really good.
Which one did you think you enjoyed the most?
I'd say it's a tie with both of them. I really enjoyed both of them.
Yeah, I already know you're kind of like a Patty Melt fan anyway, because you had Whataburger's Patty Melt a lot. That also, I guess this also begs the question too, would you rather have both or not?
I'm a food guy. I would say both.
Okay.
As you saw with those two, with our special guest Josiah and my brother Seth, they're differing opinions on it. One prefers the Chester, the other likes both, surprisingly, and has a very varied opinion on it. And so far, I'm in the camp for myself. I do like both recipes. I enjoy both. One has something over the other. I think there's a little bit more heftiness and a little bit more food with the Patty Melt, especially the way that I made it. Although personally, if I had to choose, I'd probably say the Chester due to the ease of access to certain ingredients. Because like a lot of the time, a lot of people are not going to really be using rye bread unless you specifically like rye bread. I know there's people that genuinely like that kind of bread. I know a lot of people don't usually like Swiss cheese, and so they kind of prefer something with, like, American. I'm not much for American cheese myself, and I like Swiss cheese, but for some odd reason, when I made the Chester, the cheese just added to the burger itself. And for some reason, oppositely, the Patty Melt's cheese kind of blended in, and you could taste the onions. The onions had great texture. One second, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. And it kind of just blended in for me. The Swiss with the Patty Melt, it was weird. I don't know why it didn't really add anything to it. And I usually like Swiss, personally. I usually like Swiss, and it does a pretty good job. The rye didn't really add anything to it. It's not bland, but it's not like overly flavorful. And then we go to with this, what essentially is the Chester is, like I mentioned, it's a grilled cheese, but it has a little bit more flavored meat. The super soft onions that absorb the broth in there. It added to it to where it made it more not only flavorful, as Josiah mentioned, but just like it gave it some juiciness. It added to the meat rather than detracting. To be honest as well, I tried my best especially with how thick the burger patties were. I tried my best to make it as flat as possible for the Patty Melt, so it made it a little bit harder to cook. Not the patties themselves, but more so to trying to get the sandwich to be warm, because if you notice how thick it was a little bit thicker than usual. But with the Chester, it's like super easy, just flatten out as much as possible. Usually you would do that with a Patty Melt, but with the recipe I used, I think they call it the working man's Patty Melt, and it's a little thicker, has thicker bread, you know, and particularly uses rye. I used a darker rye for this one, which was not too bad. It didn't really make too much of a difference. Now this brings us to our last question. Which one is superior? Which one is the superior recipe? Ironically enough, I personally, for me, I think it's the Chester. The Chester does a lot more for me than the patty melt does. I've had a patty melt before from, I think Whataburger's patty melt. It's okay. It's not the best thing in the world. And I would prefer the Chester over that due to what it's able to bring out, the depths of flavor, and the interesting way of cooking it. Because surprisingly, it's a lot more, I wouldn't say efficient. It's different, but it does a lot for the meat. It adds on to the meat. It adds on to the other seasonings and the Worcestershire sauce. And it just does so much for it. And I'm telling you, you should genuinely try it. For you Southern folks, I know it's weird. Boiling meat. What the heck? Did we go back to the medieval times? Why are we out on the grill? I'm telling you, y'all need to try this. It is absolutely amazing. It's very good. And shout out to, I believe his name is George Montz, the guy who made it popular. Shout out to him. He is basically the reason why I'm making this video, so shout out to him. And then of course, like I said, like this, I'm just as surprised as you all if you end up trying it. I'm telling you, I think you're gonna like it, and it's gonna be one of the better recipes from the north. Thank you for joining me today. I know, as I said previously before, I know the video is late, but I've had a lot of fun filming this video alongside with our special guest cameraman / interviewee of the video, Josiah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you helping out, Josie. And also, I hope you guys enjoy the video as well. If you guys have more recipes you want me to put head to head, let me know in the comments down below. And as said before, thanks again. This is the Captain signing off. I bid you adieu. I'm out.